Hello and a very warm welcome to episode 60 of the Sussex by the Sea podcast, a podcast about all things Hastings United. I'm your host Chris Laverick, and on today's show we're going back into the archives, all the way back to episode 1, where we talk to top fan and Hastings through and through lad, George GASSON. I talked to George just after the pre-season friendly against Folkestone back in 2020. No Tim's takes this week as Tim couldn't get to the impressive Dulwich Hamlets 8-0 away win, but he will be back with us next week. And then we have the SBTS fan roundtable, and in amongst the usual banter, we do actually talk about our beloved Hughes a bit. Enjoy, Hastings fans. But before any of that, we've got our fan shout-outs. And this one's from Billy Rummery, shouting out Sam LEBAT, whose birthday's coming up this month, 21st of March. And I know all of us Hughes fans wish Sam a very happy birthday for them. See, who said Billy was a party pooper? And now over to that man with the drum, George GASSON.
I'm just sitting in my front window, and I've just seen Matt park up. You know the ref from yesterday. Yeah, he's just parked outside my house. He actually gave us a few, so I'm not going to give him any abuse because there was a few challenges he let go for us, particularly in the first half. But that's.
He missed the penalty though, didn't he?
Yeah, a bit of a stretch. Yeah, I know. How biased do we want to be?
Very.
Well, yeah, with the Hastings goggles on, it was an absolute stonewall.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, you don't mind me. I'm as I say, talk about George, didn't we? Really, right? I've even got a little blurb for you, mate. Right? You ready for this? Right? He's the legend on the drum. He's the Hughes' own songsmith. He's tops off in a flash in November. If Hastings score away, he is the one, the only Sir George GASSON. Have I murdered your last name?
Yeah, you have. It's not French. It's
GASSON. No, what is it then? How would you pronounce it?
GASSON.
GASSON. GASSON. Yeah. So if someone says GASSON, that's fighting talk.
Yeah. I'm coming at you with the
GASSON. Okie dokie. We all know anyone that's in the crowd. You know, fantastic creator of atmosphere. You know, I mean, I don't know what we'd do. I don't know how we'd cope without you, George. You know, I mean, so I'm not going to kiss your ass too much though. Can you remember the first that moment you really fell in love with the club? Because I mean, I know we all go to games different. You know, we get around. I mean, obviously you're not like local these days. But what was it? When did you realise I just love this place and I want to be here home and away?
Well, ironically, actually, it was obviously I followed Brighton as a kid.
Yeah, yeah.
Season ticket holder there for about 14 years, and when I moved away from Hastings, and often when you move away from somewhere, you feel a bit more of an attachment to it. You feel like you're representing where you're from when you go somewhere new. So you've got getting a bit fed up with sort of football league and higher end football, big money football, where they don't really want you there. And I look up, see how Hastings is getting on, and try and get to a game. They just happened to be playing actually in Folkestone that evening.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it was we were in Canterbury enough, and there was the playoff semi-final. So your mate Darryl, who comes with us now.
Yeah.
You know, I just fancy going to a Hastings thing down there. We went down on the train. We lost that semi-final to a freak deflected goal. But we had such a good time down there. It was like, you know, this is the sort of thing that we should be doing.
Yeah.
And just coming to the pilot field and starting doing it more regularly, and you just sort of feels like you're at home where you need to be really. And as we know, it's far better to come and watch non-league, be much closer to the players, understand what's going on at the club. The club want you there. Yeah. It's just a far better day out really.
Well, 100% with you there. I mean, obviously, similar thing to myself. I used to go QPR for years. Obviously, moved away, moved up here. Tried to go to QPR, bit more of a mission. Got kids and that. It's like all the characters at the gate. It makes you realise that because a lot of I think what we love about it isn't actually the team. You know, it's just that family that's there. Yeah, because thick or thin, doesn't matter if we're winning or losing. Like when we lost yesterday. You know, none of us were, effing and jeffing about it, because we were glad to see each other again, weren't we? And then have a little sing song and.
Yeah, personally, I think if you go to any football game or any football trip, and you base your enjoyment of it on the result or the game of football, then I think I don't know. It's fair enough if you do that, but I couldn't do that. I feel like a bit of a mug if I was doing that. For me, it's a day out. It's seeing people. We've got our little behind the goal kind of family. It's that whole experience. It's the train ride there. Meeting other people beforehand, and whatever goes on in the clubhouse after. The game is very much secondary.
Well, I mean, luckily enough, we've been very lucky, haven't we? The last few years, there's been a great football out on the pitch, and that I remember going back when Neville Southall, when Neville Southall was a coach at Hastings, and it was pretty dire. Do you know what I mean? It was very Route One kind of stuff that you would never initially fall in love with the team because of the football. It would be other things. Do you know what I mean? So Aggie's
we're lucky at the moment. We're lucky at the moment because I think the club's probably a bigger part of my life because the football's so good, because I'm bragging about it all the time to other people who don't go. That the football is of a high quality. Yes, it's level 8 of the pyramid, but there's some of the football on display. Even yesterday, in what was an uncompetitive game, wasn't quite at full tilt. Some of the football that we were seeing from players that are from Hastings, young players, was something to shout about. That's why it's so exciting.
Yeah, I mean, from a fan, because obviously I ain't no bloody expert, but like from a fan point of view, I mean, it looked like, it took them 10, 20 minutes to kind of get going, get that rhythm going. But then there was some, we started playing some stuff down the wings, some good stuff. There was some good little passages of play. Obviously, we're playing folks and they're at a higher level. I felt we did look like we were about 80%. I mean, it's pre-season, isn't it? You're not. That's the whole point of the games. You're getting rid of the cobwebs. You're getting a bit of a run out, aren't you? So, I mean, we respectable. I thought it was a respectable result considering.
Well, if you take the fact that we were probably about 80%, and so were Folkestone as well. To be fair to them, they're not going to be quite ready yet either. And it just shows that we will compete this season, and that if we were lucky enough to be in the division above, that we would compete at that level too. It's going to be a tough season, definitely a tough season. You look at the division, and other teams are strengthening as well. There's enough positive people running the club now. At least have a positive outlook and a bit of ambition. So that's what we need to stick to, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I've asked you about the atmosphere. I mean, obviously, you're, I don't want to kiss your ass too much about it, but obviously, you're one of the key people that get a bit of atmosphere going. I mean, is that something I don't know, of course you're proud of it, but like, you go out your way to, don't you? You go out your way to create that atmosphere.
I think for quite a few of us, that's how we're enjoying ourselves, I suppose, really. So, it's quite everyone enjoys themselves in a different way. Some people love to get a better view of the game by sitting on the halfway line and talk about tactics and things during the game and what's going on, and that's how they enjoy it. Some people have their own bit. Some people like to stand behind the linesman and give him some tips. And there's a few of us who love being behind the goal, love being close to the pitch when we score, and just love going to away games. Sort of how we enjoy it. And some of us are, not everyone can go to all the games. There's a few of us who are lucky enough to be able to go to most. We're lucky as well now. Now we've got Bob Quinn on board at the club, producing good reports that are fair, and I would say are slightly more positive reports than we've had previously on our games, and they're always a good read, and it's good for all of us. We always read his previews as well for the game. It's a great way to build up really to the match day. So big shout out to Bob there for what he does, because it's quite hard. It's quite hard to keep up keep up with the play, especially when we all care so much.
Yeah,
about where they are, and they understand what it means to fans. That's why it's such a good group. And I think we've seen actually over the past couple of years that not only has Chris got in some, particularly high quality talent into the team, but also the right characters. And even if we've had players that are good, of good quality, but if they're not fitting in with the group or not sort of understanding that ethos, they're not here anymore.
So they get moved on quick.
The group that we saw yesterday enjoying themselves together. It was really, really good to see. Actually, really good to see.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. Okay. Right, mate. Just moving on. Right. Yeah. I was just only a few more things, Joz. I don't want to keep you too long, mate. But and obviously, I'm going to try and cut this and edit it. So that just basically so I sound really good and you sound like you're French. Not really.
No.
No.
So there's only room for one star here.
No, don't worry. Yeah, I'm not an egomaniac. Don't worry. But your feelings on the season ending early. I know, obviously, we've all had a moan about it, but from the fact that we didn't go up.
Summing it up, gutting. Obviously, we all felt that we would have gone on to win the league. We've had our blip, starting to turn form. Very frustrating. Personally, for me, to get over it, which is something that we've all had to do, is to say that we hadn't actually won it. I'd feel even worse if we were a Jersey Bulls who actually won. I mean, they won nearly every game, and they'd already celebrated promotion. Then be told that that's not happening. I think so. We're not in the worst position out of all the clubs that are affected by that. I'd be disappointed if I was an Ashford or a Whitehawk fan that another strong team is still going to be in their division rather than getting promoted and getting out of the way. Yeah. And it's going to be very, very competitive this season. I think, you ask anyone about this, everyone's still gutted, and a lot of people might say, it's the wrong decision or it's made too hastily, but we've got a chance to put that right over the next 9 months, and whatever level of football Hastings United play at, will be there. Yeah. Anyway, enjoying it. So just trying not to get too annoyed about it because it's not healthy, not helpful.
Yeah, no, there's nothing we can do about it. But obviously, hopefully we can enjoy it. Obviously, with COVID knocking around at the moment, hopefully we don't have another stoppage. But that's in the hands of the gods, isn't it? What else was I going to say? Yeah, so I think we already touched on it, but keeping most of the team together, I think, which is a great thing. I mean, obviously we've lost Aziz and we lost Daniel Ajikai. Particularly Ajikai was a top player. I thought he was a great player. Always gave 100% as well. I mean, he was just unbelievable. I mean, the amount of goals he should have scored last year and he didn't through just not having the luck. But the guys we've got in now, I mean, it's early doors, isn't it? I mean, obviously it's just pre-season. I mean, do you think that will affect us greatly, or?
I don't. I think we've got one of the best keepers in the division. We've got the best centre-back partnership in the division. We've got players like Ollie Black, who's come on leaps and bounds over the last 12 months and now looking really solid whether he plays at left back or centre back. Yeah. We've got players like Adams and Dixon who have been doing it year in, year out very consistently. Obviously Pope up top. You've got this Lloyd Dawes that comes in and looks like he just wants to take on everyone and smash it in the top corner. Every time he gets the ball, very exciting. And, while we've got, there's been a bit of investment into the playing sides, money-wise from the club, but while other teams are having to find players from elsewhere to fill their gaps, we're producing players like Ryan Worrell's coming through.
Oh, of course,
Tom Chalmers looked like he was one of the best players on the pitch yesterday.
Yeah, he really come into the game. He definitely come into the game. Yeah.
He just looks dangerous every time he gets the ball. So if we keep producing players like that,
well, obviously
more as well.
We've got Rodari on the bench. We've got Jake Elliott's. Jake Elliott's there. I mean, I don't know if, I really hope. Well, just selfishly, I hope he stays, because I know he's had some trials in other places. But like, if he could stay, I mean, he's a top defender. He's so calm on the ball. There's a lot to like. You know what I mean? And obviously we got the impact sub. We got Kenny Pogue. I mean,
Kenny Carnage.
Yeah, I mean, we all remember that away game where we were 2-0 down with, what was it, a couple of minutes to go? The Pogue comes in and destroys it.
Yeah, it's just changed the game, changed the dynamic of it. And then when you've got centre back who's playing in midfield, you've got basically playing one at the back, it gets quite exciting.
Oh, of course.
So there's a lot of things to be excited about, and they just seem like a great bunch of lads as well. So looking forward to seeing Pope and David and Lloyd Dawes start together.
Yeah, I know that. Well, that's excellent. Well, look, George, thanks very much for your time.
And now over to the SBTS fan roundtable, and a big shout to Adam Carter, Flat White Andy, HairFlik, Johhny Wills, Gina, Leon, Windy John, Slim Shady, Adam Smith, I like to party, everybody does, Matt, and a late run in from that man, Gary HISTED, for making it happen. P.S. James Hull may be having a breakthrough season, bagging his first league goal on Saturday, which was well deserved because of his absolute tenacity. He's bagging goals for fun in the under-23s. None of that matters because of the crimes against fashion. The trial was supposed to be this week. He no-showed, he was in Ashford. He made a right crock of the People's Court, and I know that Chief Prosecutor Leon Pettit was not happy about that. Will James answer for these crimes, as well as continuing to bag goals for fun for Hastings? The court case will have to wait till next week. And as for James and the goals, I see him smashing Corinthians this Saturday. And here's your fan roundtable for this week.
We're the Sweeney, son, and we haven't had any dinner.
Evening.
Yeah, he's just finished a rap battle. Look at the state of it.
Here comes Slim Shady. Got a clean, got a clean sweater on now, isn't he?
Hey, morning, afternoon.
Evening and good night.
Evening.
Yeah.
Everyone well?
Yep.
All good.
Yes.
All good. I'll tell you what, Leon's developing a real radio voice. Have you noticed that? Very smooth, All good.
Going for late night radio 2 slot, I think. Play some soul.
Going for my job.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'd be useless at that. Too much umming and ahhing. I'd be like, what's his name's on the ball? What's his face?
You're just the face for the radio, mate.
yeah. Perfect face.
We've got a lot of people on today, so this may or may not go pear-shaped. Right.
Good evening.
Good old Grumps here. Hello, Andy.
All right. I could have dipped out and watched City.
God.
What, Chichester?
Well, for all the insight, I'm not sure they'd had a shot by the time I left anyway, but still passing it around the box endlessly and refusing to cross it.
What is that on BBC?
Huh?
Is it FA Cup tonight?
Don't speak with your mouth half full, John. Fill it up first.
Right,
That's what she said.
Wait. That's mean as we carry on. Hello, Gina.
Hey. Hi, Gina.
Hello.
James Hull is at the Ashford game. He will be coming in at some point.
Also, you've lured us all here under false. It gets even worse.
What Ashford?
Bloody moaning, will you?
What Ashford game?
Yeah.
They're playing in the Kent Cup.
Oh,
against
essential viewing.
Well, he's probably watching his brother, isn't he? Right.
I wouldn't watch my brother play if he was doing it in the back garden.
Oh, he's on form tonight, isn't he?
Excuse me for eating, but Laveric's nagged me that I've got to be on, no matter if I'm eating or bathing or whatever.
I never mentioned about you naked, mate.
Oh, thank goodness it's eating.
Yeah.
Could have been both.
Right, peeps. Hopefully James is going to be on in a bit. The the order of play is going to be, we'll talk football, and then at the end we're going to do the trial of James Hull. Obviously, Leon's prepared a prosecuting statement. I'm obviously going to be the judge, very fair and impartial one, as you would imagine. We do have witness statements.
Is it just me that's supposed to have prepared the statement? I thought everyone has.
No, just
you're the prosecutor.
On you, Leon.
Right, okay.
Prosecutor, you're the prosecutor.
Everyone else had.
I'm the defence lawyer.
Have you actually? You've actually spoken to James. You've spoken to your client.
No, I don't need.
It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. In a kangaroo court, it doesn't work like that. Okay, that's what
I don't need to. I've got substantial evidence.
Okay.
This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, right. Anyway, let's start. So, a massive welcome to Windy, Leon, Smithy, Matt/Linda, Adam Carter, Will's with something in his mouth.
Ditto's tackle.
Yeah, exactly. Mildly grumpy Andy and the lovely Gina. Welcome to yet another week. A great week for the U's. A week I never made the game. I wasn't at the game, so I'm going to look to all of you lovely people to tell me the joys of a wonderful 2-0 victory against Chichester to kick off. Should we talk party or should we talk beers first?
I thought parties were banned.
Okay. No, nothing is banned here, mate. Parties. So, Matt, tell us about your adventure to Chichester.
Well, I wasn't going to sit and do nothing, so we had a little response to obviously the events of Partygate. So we ventured down to watch the game and deserved 2-0 victory, I think. Chichester are no walk in the park, are they? You know, they're not shit or anything, but I think they didn't really bother Louis in the back too much. Couple of opportunities, couple of saves for Louis, but bread and butter stuff for him.
Can I just cut it?
What? Swills? What now?
Quickly. Look, Matt, we don't want to hear about your parties.
Shall I leave my personal business out of it for you, Will?
Says Linda.
Do you know what?
Canapé you're eating?
Yeah. No. Look, he's a terrible... Look, Matt, he's a terrible masticator. Okay? That's all I know.
So, we enjoyed the game as it was. And then with about 10 minutes or so to go, we just had a little stroll around the Hastings end, dishing out some birthday cakes, some party hats and some party poppers, just to sort of take the party to Chichester. And just as a little way of engaging people, most people got it and had a little chuckle. It was just a bit of fun to be light-hearted, really.
Yeah.
And to put things to bed, hopefully, as well. You know, sign it off, done it, completed.
That's the beginning of every week, isn't it now? Partygate?
Probably, yeah. Well, me and Lynn have actually got the matchday sponsorship for the last game, Seven Oaks at home, with the matchday sponsors. So...
hats for everyone.
Hats, mate, I'm thinking the Conga, 2,000 people.
No, excellent. As long as it ain't Sambalanca, mate. I hate them with a passion. If you bring Sambalanca in, then I don't know. There's banning orders everywhere. Right.
Any reason, or like if we just to get Section 5 or a different one of the drum?
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. No, Sambalanca. I always. Right, long story short, I'm obviously a little bit old now. Not as old as John Wills, but I used to Notting Hill Carnival. Used to go every year, and I was there for reggae dub. Yeah, that's what me and all the old men, white, black, whatever, we're all there because the carnival's about reggae and dub, right? And then these new crowd come in, these Sambalanca sounding people, and they took over, right? And all of us grumpy old men, we were like, oh, look, we've lost. There's no dub floats, there was no reggae, the old school sort of reggae, yeah? They all disappeared. So I blame Sambalanca for that. I have no evidence that it's anything to do with them, but
they're tied with the bus, man.
They are now.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Well,
I'll make sure I don't get anyone like that involved. But yeah.
You're a cultural version of the Amish, aren't you, Chris? You'd quite like everything to have stopped about 1989 or something. How about that?
Yeah, what's that? Yeah, okay. Well, right. So, thank you, Matt. Pardon, John?
Have you got like the world's biggest pot noodle or something?
Thanks. I'll go with that. Some people just live in the past. You know, I feel like I don't want to do that on here.
Are you going to start talking about the stadium?
Pardon? We've got to keep the pilot field and,
there we
and
go.
Badge, by the way. Did I say that before?
Get rid of the badge. Okay, Matt. Don't
It
listen
might
to
actually
him.
help if he embraced the future by upgrading from a dial-up connection, though, John. He sounds like he's suffering from the first cyber attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to get him canned.
Don't put his Russian gear on. His Russian gear on.
Behave.
What's he doing? Okay, but I'm a bit concerned about Wills today. Right. So thank you for that, Matt. I'll move over to someone who I know had a good time beforehand. And there was evidence of this. I was being informed by Windy, Miss Sir Leon. Please tell us about you and all your post people that went to Chichester on the magic bus.
So, my day started about 9:30 in the morning. My mate, he'd been out the night before, some mask wearing crap down the White Rocks, all to do with Fat Tuesday. So he was already a bit bleary eyed. And we got to Silveroo and said, "Oh, do you want to go get a few crates of beer from Mazda?" And I thought, you know what, I'll wait. You know, I'm all right. But he went and got some anyway. About 10 minutes into the journey, he cracks one open, says to me, "Do you want one?" I think, "Yeah, go on then." And it's all downhill from there. I don't know if I actually remember the game. I remember bits and bobs of it. But Chichester itself, I'd say it's a lovely place, nice club, but no offence to them, don't want to go back there next season because we'll be getting promoted. Yeah, as for the game itself, it felt like sort of up until our penalty, really. I wouldn't have surprised me if it ended 0-0 because, like Matt said before, like Chichester didn't really look all that threatening, but from my sort of hazy memory, we didn't really look. We weren't at our best, and I think, obviously scored that penalty, and even after that, it was a bit, you know, I think at the back of your head, you're sort of a bit like, I hope they don't equalise. Then young James Hull pops up 90th minute with his boots on, not his Crocs, and puts it to bed.
Don't get started on that too quickly. Yeah, he's having trouble getting in. Just so you know, I don't know what context.
But yeah, well, I sort of blurted something out at him in the clubhouse afterwards about Crocs. So I sort of, you know, think I need to apologise to the poor lad. I don't think I made much sense. Because
you could be contempt. It could be contempt of court.
My mate called Jack Dixon over after the game, and basically he was talking. I don't know what he was on about. He started crying. He bumped into an Audi a few weeks ago and was crying that Dicko basically blanked him, and he said something to him. Yeah.
Too drunk.
Yeah, poor Dicko. He just sort of laughed it off and scarfed as soon as.
Well, there you go. What a match report that was.
Yeah. And then my mate went missing as well afterwards.
Leon, this is the bit I was told by Tim to make sure you tell this story.
My mate
with no names.
My mate Leroy, basically, he was the one that went out the night before.
Dry up
on the coach over. He only had two small beers, and he was already in a bit of a state when we was in the pub before. A nice pub, I think it was called the Foundry near the station. So if you're ever over Chichester way, I'd recommend it. But I know for sure he was definitely there for Hasler's sending off. And then I don't really remember much after that. He just sort of disappeared. I looked for him in the clubhouse. He went there. I thought I heard him in the toilet, banged on the cubicle door because I thought he was in there. And then some poor guy opened it and just saw me, sort of thought, "Oh no, You're not my mate. Yeah, got on the minibus.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and everyone's
what happens
like,
in the urinals, mate?
Where's Leroy? And I've no idea. Like, I tried ringing him. His phone was dead.
Can I ask? Is it Leroy, the one out of Fame? Fame,
No idea.
Leroy? No.
Leroy Jenkins.
No, yeah, that's what I was expecting. Yeah, and then obviously we still don't hear from him. About 24 hours after I last saw him, I'm starting to get a bit concerned because I'm sort of starting to think to myself, maybe I should have kept a close eye on Leroy, because we all know, those of us that know him, is a bit of a liability anyway. And then we get a message coming from the WhatsApp group saying, "Oh, sorry about that, guys. My phone died. I went to find somewhere to sleep in Chichester, tried 3 hotels, they're all full. Went to my uncle's house in Hove and slept there for the night."
Wow.
So, yeah, that was a massive, huge moment for me because I sort of felt responsible. And yeah, I could sort of relax.
Yeah, but I asked Tim, I said, "Weren't you worried?" He said, "I was. Leon wasn't."
Well, at the time I wasn't, because I was like, well, maybe he's got on the other bus. But then, like, sort of woke up next morning, still hadn't heard from him, and I was like, oh, I'm getting a bit more concerned now. But like, he does this. Loads of us who know him, we've been out with him before. He sort of wanders off and will turn up.
He must have had I think he must have had quite a few missed calls.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's my match report. Man, I love football.
Right then, let's move on to Smithy. There you go, Smithy. Crack into it, mate. And your wonderful Twitter.
Did you follow it, or did you follow Carter's amazing commentary?
Generally, I followed Carter's commentary.
Thank you.
I mean, all we hear is Radio Carter.
Is that because you weren't there, Chris? Oh, I feel like I need to
trash. You piece of trash.
George ain't here. 2 weeks in a row, isn't it?
No, George was at the game yesterday, the under-23 game. I don't know if you saw that. The ginger linesman at the 23s. No, it was.
It's Hunky brother, wasn't it?
I'm not willing to go there, Andy.
I think he's only 12, that lino.
Yeah, Smithy, go on, Ed. Kick on.
I've forgotten where we was going. I think half-time, I was really harsh on the team because we weren't very good. And then sort of looking back on it, actually, Chichester, they're a good side. And I thought, 0-0 half-time, we didn't really create anything. We tried a new formation with 2 up top and sort of Diala floating around behind, and it didn't really work. Second half, changed it around. Popey come off, so I think he was injured. And then we sort of started to create a bit more. And yeah, like Leon said, once we got a penalty, even that, you thought, well, this isn't straightforward. But we sort of hung on. We ground it out, and that's what we're doing nowadays. You go back a couple of years, we'd have probably drawn that game, but we've sort of found a way to win ugly.
What was the new guy like?
He was really good. He looked sharp. He's going to score a good few goals before the end of the season. You can see he's got it in him.
Yeah, that's good.
I just wish he had squared to Popey when he had the chance.
Yeah, there was that chance in the first half, when he was sort of trying to, I'm going to score on my debut. But no, to step up and take the penalty as well.
Yeah.
Bit of pressure there, but put it away. Keeper got a fingertip to it, but just the power he hit it, he was never stopping it.
That's good. Yeah.
And then, I think as well, as amazing it was for James Hull to get his first league goal, Tom Chalmers in the build-up just skipped between 2 players, pinged it on his left, on his right, and just threw 2 of them, gave them all the space in the world. And, that's James has got a lot to thank TC for that. But yeah, then the composure from James just to put it away. And then, bless him, he didn't really know what to do when he scored. He didn't know whether to run to the bench, run to the fans. And
like a puppy dog, wasn't he?
He chose the right option. But no, it was a good day out in the end. Beating a good team.
Right, James Hull keeps saying he can't get on. Right, so I see this as him trying to get out of this.
Yeah,
not going to work. So this is what I've been beavering away about. So it's not I'm ignoring you.
Chris, you could say you could say he's playing for the under-23s. He's hoping to get in the first team as well. Does he ever worry with playing too much that he might get cropped?
Boom, boom. Oh, he's here all week.
We might as well end